this is Robert and you're watching SoloParent.tv. Today I have a tip for you, and I think this is going to really help you. As a single parent, one of the hardest things that we deal with on a practical level is keeping track of all the balls in the air, the juggling all the responsibilities, and not only juggling all of our responsibilities, but making sure that our kids are taking care of their responsibilities too. And if they do take care of all their responsibilities, making sure that they get rewarded for that. And in my house, my family, we do allowance. You may or may not do that. But one of the things that inevitably happens with me is I forget if I've given them an allowance or not. We'll be at a store or at a grocery store and they want a piece of candy and they're like, well, Dad, just take it out of the allowance that you owe me. And I'm like, do I owe them allowance? Do I not owe them allowance? I thought I gave them the allowance. And it would inevitably end in some kind of discussion, if not an argument. So I came up with this system that I think really works for us. And that is this, a blank piece of paper, but it functions like a check. Basically, it outlines their responsibilities. It's the end of the week that that week represents. For instance, this is July 3rd, and then there's a signature line. It is their responsibility to keep track of the jobs that they did, to give it to me by the end of the weekend, and for me to sign it by the end of the weekend. If I don't sign it by the end of the weekend, then it's worthless. But it's their responsibility for me to come after me and to make sure that I check that they've done all their chores and then get this signed. Now I can give them their allowance right on the spot, but if I don't have the cash right on the spot, which is typical for me, I'll sign this and they can keep this, much like a check. It's good like money. And so it takes the responsibility off of me trying to remember if I've given them allowance, and puts the responsibility on them, and which is much like life. The responsibility financially is always on ourselves. So I find that this works out really well. They get motivated to not only do their chores, but to keep track of whether I give them their money or not. So that's an example. This is not a really good example because it does outline all the things that they were supposed to do, and it gives a signature line and the date and everything. But I think my overambitious daughter put a very large amount for the allowance. $20 is not what she gets. But it gives you the idea of what it is. I'm telling you, this tip alone will save you money, save you arguments. It's just you gotta be firm. Like, there are times when the girls will come on a Wednesday or a Thursday and they'll give me the list and I'm like, I'm sorry, it was due on Sunday, and if there's no signature, there's no money. And so it puts the responsibility back on them. I hope that tip worked for you. It's worked phenomenally for my house. And there's no resistance from my kids. It works great for me. I think it'll work great for you. So thanks for watching. That's my tip for today. Have a great day. See you later.